Now, if I could just, uh, I can't just type it in. So is it Seoban?
No, I bet you anything
File?
it's like chiffon.
Probably. We'll see. Typing. Okay, so good. Well, welcome in any case, and all right, and we're glad to have you. So, okay, and Joanne, and not okay, okay, from North Yorkshire, England, and not been Zentangling
Yep.
long. New today.
See,
Oh,
I was right. Chiffon.
Siobhan. Okay, that's good. I will let you pronounce that.
Well, I always thought it was like chiffon, like the fabric, that you
Oh,
could see through. So
yeah.
just think of that.
Okay.
Chiffon.
Yeah, that I can remember. Yeah, because some things, and like when I'm doing the daily tangle, sometimes I will see if I can find a pronunciation, online, just so that way I can at least be close. But then I can prepare to, this I can't. All right, so everyone knows, while I will put in the chat links to the step outs, and I have been doing mm, fairly good at getting these recaps out lately. So that is my aim. So that way, if you're on a tablet, or a device, I suppose you could always open it and bookmark it or something like that. Just so that way you have it later. And the reason I share them is so that way, if you're on a device that you can flip back and forth, uh, then you can if need be. And let's see. So I got some of the housekeeping stuff done. So here's how we work it for those that are new. We do enjoy and we like to have fun while we're tangling. So there will be joking around and laughter, just so you're aware. And so we're gonna share. Oh, and Sandy, you're on because you're the star. I didn't warn you today. We're gonna do Foccsee from Sandy Vaughan. This is one of two tangles that she put out real close together, and I almost didn't, because I'm like, I think I need to play with this more, and then I was like, no, you do it the Zentangle way, and you just do it. So. Oh, so it is a neat tangle, and so it'd probably be good to, like, maybe pair it with something else, this, maybe a background or something. So be thinking of that or whatever you want. So the only thing that ties us together is the tangle we're doing, and everyone, will do it. Add what other things that they want. You can follow me. You can follow Cherie, who is my mom, and or a combination of both, and see what you come up with, because we end up doing things a bit different. So I say that because some people have gotten confused, not knowing, oh, should I follow this, should I follow that. This is kind of a free for all with the talking through of the tangles. So
Yeah, Heather, you
oh, I did, thank
yeah.
you. Wait, WordPress, second. Oh, yep, I did. Thanks, that's $5 to Alyssa's account. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm getting so, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's getting there after a couple years. Well, actually, I was saying it should get better after that, not the other way around. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen, and although with music I would always say this, and I'm just gonna sight read everything because I always play better when I sight read. I know it's a brain thing, and it's like once I start practicing, forget it. It just goes downhill. And then, the other thing, you can work on whatever you want. We have some people that are working on sketchbook. Uh, uh, some are working like this. These are no, neither of these are official tiles that I have. These are tiles that we prepped. It was a class that we did a little while ago. I know I've seen some people that just on lined paper. It doesn't matter what you're tangling on. That's all up to you. This is, for fun and exploration. So this is Foccsee from Sandy Vaughan. This is inspired by the foxglove plant, which I will show you a picture of that she put on her Instagram. And so yeah, Sandy, I swiped things off of your Instagram account for the post. And so the reason I have a challenge with this is because it's kind of free form, and that just for me causes me challenges in my brain. So she started off with kind of an S-shaped curve line, and then just put kind of a free form shape on the other side. And what's neat is it's whimsical. Oh, no, cannot hear anything. Hold on one second. Try. Selecting your from, oh, what do they call that? From the settings.
Her mic is still on.
Oh, is
It says that you
oh,
have
I muted it.
disabled. You muted it, but
Oh, yeah.
she has it's
Oh, I see
still
it. Yeah.
blue.
Yep. So let me well, if she can't hear.
Oh,
She
now
turned,
it's regular.
okay, I fixed that. And then let me, oh, and that's right, she's on the other. Let's see. Oh, and of course I turned off the app thing. Oh, and Sandy says her too. That's why it took her a dozen attempts to do the step out. So as I figured this out, so this is it's nice because it's whimsical. It's nice too because you can, you could do it however you want, so to speak. The shape, it's not oh, we need to do a curve line that looks like this. It can yeah, and it'll never look the same way twice, so we don't have to worry about it.
We don't want it to look the same way twice.
Right, we want it to look organic. So yeah, so drawing and like an odd shape in my head it's just like drawing a string. It's like, oh, I want to in my head it's like there has to be a right or wrong way. That is how it is. And it's like, no, not necessarily. So what was interesting is Sandy has us kind of starting maybe in the middle and then working down towards the end and then working backwards up. And then at the end, we'll add a little curve line. And I magnified this in the corner. And then some, some at first I just did some dots. Then when I went and looked back, she had some maybe some little orbs or filled in dots. But let me share that really quick. And while I answer this, okay. And so we have the inspiration here, and let me make this a little bit bigger, which is gorgeous. Yeah, and see, yeah, on the inside it has that freckledy um, pattern on the inside, and then here is Sandy's, much better than mine. Step out, and yeah, so starting kind of in the middle, working down and getting bigger as you go down. And then you can go smaller as they go up, because as you look at the plant, there it blooms, and then it keeps, blooming its way up to the top, I guess you could say. And really, only the ones towards the bottom, the bigger ones that you can fit it in, have the little C shape with, some. Like I said, you could put some dots and some little orbs, combination thereof. And then here is some of the samples that Sandy had, and then putting the shading in there is really nice. Oh, and I wasn't noticing, yeah, and doing some on the sides here, but it looks neat with whatever shape you end up with. So I thought, okay, well, this will be fun, and you know, it'll be the free for all. Okay, let's see. And I put both of these in, and that is it. Okay, let me stop the screen share and see. And that's what I was thinking, Mom, on yours with that pattern.
That's perfect because I
Yeah.
actually have a line kind of going up this way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm. Mhm. And I'm gonna dare say too. I mean, I suppose you could, if it worked better for you. It just depends because we all work differently. If you started at the bottom and wanted to work your way up, or probably you could probably do any combination, whatever works good for you.
yeah.
And yeah, like I said, you never have to worry about it being perfect. It just has a really, really neat look. To me, they looked a bit like ghosts. All right. I think I'm gonna pick this one. Oh, and maybe I'll go this way so the
Yeah,
purple
I
one
would go that
at the
way.
bottom. All right. And oh, let's see. And maybe I'll use a PN pen instead. I should make sure that it works. Okay. I was using this on something and it was seemingly starting to die. And okay. So this is where I go, okay, deep breath, and then start. And Sandy says she kept seeing big noses. Yes, I did see that too. Oh, worked at. Okay, I'm still. Let me. Uh,
I'm waiting,
yeah,
pen poised.
yes, yes. Okay. Uh, okay. So, okay. Let me get at least one going here as I'm debating. Okay. Well, yeah, and I think I will start in the middle. Oh, but I have some nice shapes here. I can follow along the edge. Hmm. Well, let me just.
I would still start in the middle.
Yeah. All right. So I started with like a curved line-ish. Then, and that and it's a good place to start. And then just kind of coming up and around and making it kind of bulbous-ish at the bottom.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm typing.
Don't be
It's
so quiet. It sounds like you
I,
lost
yeah,
your
it's like, oh, I'm frozen.
your
Eh,
volume or whatever.
Yeah. All right. And then, you know, uh, this made me think also of the Pangea that Zentangle. How did you know I had the pen in my mouth, Alyssa? Do I have another camera on me? And, and you could start it from either direction. Also, that's the other thing. It's not gonna matter. But what the only thing that kind of uh, well, and I don't know how much they all seem to kind of come to a point, or they're smaller at the top and bigger at the bottom. And so you can somewhat aura, or at least like leave a little space, which I thought that I'm going to go back to the picture of them. Oh yeah. Yeah, because towards the on the picture that she showed, I mean, towards the bottom they're kind of overlapping, uh, and but they are spaced out. So and then well, I thought too. I mean, you could alternate where they start. Let's say, oh, and then before as I'm getting down here to the bottom, I'm gonna out outline this. But I do think it's neat that yeah, it is kind of like that we're leaving that space in between.
So you know what it somewhat reminds me, because you sort of aura the last thing you just did. You know what I mean? To fit them in.
Yeah. Yeah,
So you're
that's
not just willy-nilly drawing shapes, you kind of
yeah. Start
make
with
a path.
something,
Yeah,
and
and
then yeah. And then if you, don't, see in the if the aura isn't perfect, that's okay because you don't necessarily want it to be perfect. But it does give you something to go on, like that. And then you can have that go, I'm sure, as wide, or, as thin as you want. And then the other, well, not trick, but something to remember is that, you want to go smaller as you go up. And let me just type to Amanda here. And if anyone else I'm trying to remember if anyone else had issues with sound. She said it worked earlier. She was sending me, because you can send little private messages. Worked earlier, but then not now. I did suggest, going out and coming in again. Um, I'm asking her to try going out and coming in, because that seemed to have worked for some. Um, and she's on a regular device, so because my phone, like my phone, the sound, the volume control is in the weirdest. It's in the most convenient place for me to continue to shut it off. It's like, oh, stop. All right, and then I'm looking here. Oops. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to go back to. Well, see, and then when you start going up, I guess then you could then, like, aura ish, the bottom of something. So like right here, and then go up like that. That one looks like a nose for sure. Except then I do need to remember, go a little smaller. Although, as I'm saying that, it's like, well, if you didn't want to go a lot smaller, because it's like in Sandy's step out, she goes, just down to little dots. So you can figure, um it's up to you. Oh, and now that I've done two right next to each other.
it'll lose that look. Just keep going.
It will. It will. And Luna, let me know if you can. Well, I'll put the links in there again for you, because I think we had a couple people that joined in possibly later, and that way, well, you can always scroll up. It's an adventure scrolling up on our chat. Oh yeah, or a pair of lungs. Oh, see, now if I put something on the side, then that'll take care of it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, just kind of, yeah, finding, yeah, different ways to fit things in. There we go. Mine's just going to be a wider one. Let's see if I can make it going smaller now. Yeah, just doing, yeah, odd shapes. It's what I work on with Zentangle. No. And also just not thinking about it. That's the other thing that I work on with Zentangle. Now mine are looking like deflated balloons. All right. Well, that looks kind of cool. Oh, huh. So yeah, I mean, still not having sound. Ah. All right. Well, at least we are to we're drawing part. Um, so once you have it set, or I'm gonna suppose at any point you could, so at the base somewhere, make a nice curved line, and then also looking back at Sandy's, they weren't always going like straight down. So if you have ones that are curved a little bit, like this, I can put it here curved. Actually, it didn't need to be that high. Or even ones that it looks like it should be this way, I can just put it this way if I want to. Whatever you want. And now I have to know what mom is doing.
I'm trying to add those little flowers that were behind the actual photograph.
Oh, mom's doing art.
No, it might be
And
a
if
new
anyone else
tangle.
wants to. Oh.
I just liked the way it looked, and I thought, I can do that. It's going to be my new tangle. I'll have to name it.
All right, I'm just typing here. If I can spell. All right. Well, yeah. I was just trying to think if there is one like that, but I don't know.
You know, it sort of looks like awe. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, or
ah,
all, whichever way
yeah,
you want to say it.
a half of one, sort of, or not.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is little dash lines and then dots.
It's like rustic. And so I'm just drawing all these little curve lines first, and and we'll see how far up I decide that I want to do. Although I suppose, um, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to put them maybe all the way up because these are the ones that are not yet looming. And then, oh, and think, I think I was seeing, yeah, it was in one of the samples that Sandy did where they were, little orbs. So you could put a few and then add some dots or um, whichever order you would want to go in, little dots. Then maybe you could, do a couple little orbs too. And as I've kind of gone, because I just decided to look back, she did keep a little bit of a barrier underneath, but I don't know how much that matters. Oh, and thanks, Deb. Um, yeah, and I think Deb, I think well, yeah. See, I think I had recommended, just double checking the settings on the sound, because like mom had that issue where everything looked like it. Oh no, that was your microphone. Everything looked like it was
Yeah,
fine, but the microphone wasn't doing anything. And I'm gonna assume that maybe everybody gets this. Well, and I'll type it to her afterwards. When you leave the program, I usually get a, so how was it today? How was the sound? How was the video? And um, I'll put in. I was like, well, this wasn't my problem, but I know other people had this problem, so I'll always fill that in. All right. And then, oh no, let's see. Oh no, just a couple of them did this. like a couple of them where I'm putting these little orbs and it looks like faces. So I'm like, no, I need to fix that. So it doesn't. Yeah. Then, oh, that looks nice, Mom. Oh, and adding some white underneath that line. That's a neat idea. I might have to. Let's see.
Well, I'm just trying to make them look more alike. I don't know
Oh,
what I'm doing.
well, I'm gonna put some. Let's see. Yeah, I'm putting some graphite right up on that line. Maybe I'll put some white up on top of it.
I have to go back and do something.
Yeah. Am I still? Beep, beep. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, I should always leave my phone on, so that way I can make sure that I'm in the picture. And I like the idea of starting with the graphite right on that underside of that curved line, and then bringing it down so the the darkest part is right at that line. So with this purple, it's kind of hard to see. But I have an idea. Oh yes, I have a second idea. Two at one moment. Oh my goodness, what do I do with myself? Some white in there because if they're thinking about what a foxglove kind of looks like, they're um, the orbs and things there's some lighter in those in that I don't know what you call that the neat patterned part, the freckly part. And then I just decided I'm copying you, Mom, and I'm sort of copying you, putting just a little line of white above the black curve line that I did. And in some cases going over it accidentally, but it's okay. Huh. Oh, maybe let me. Well, it is interesting looking. Okay. And then, I'm looking back at Sandy's samples, and on both of them, she aura'd the whole thing. So just kind of oraing, and then did patterns on the outside. And that's a nice idea. I think I might have to do that. And then I'm thinking, was I too random in putting these dots, and did I do too much? I don't know. But well, then it's like, okay, do I want to do any more? Because you kind of have to decide that if you're. Oops, I left my pen open here. I'm feeling like there should be another one here. Yeah. All right. So I am gonna follow that, and I'm gonna aura the whole thing. So yeah, you have to wait till you decide it's like that you're for sure done. Well, and not that you couldn't add another whole section of them or something if you wanted to. Go off the page. I like it when I'm doing an aura and then I decide all of a sudden at the last minute to add. Let's add another one here. And actually, the aura doesn't even have to follow all of the contour. It's just kind of it's a nice finishing touch um, to kind of I don't know collect everything there. Oh, I did this one just right, so I made that little so I can make the curve line right on that little hole there. Ah,
I'm not sure how it's going to look, but I'm thinking of auraing mine in white.
oh, it looked neat.
I can always go over it with black if I decide I don't like it.
You
Right?
can. Yes, or you could do black alongside it maybe.
Oh, I could.
I don't know. Hmm. Actually, I'm kind of liking what you're doing, and now maybe I'll do it the opposite way.
Well, I think it makes a difference what we're doing on these colored tiles.
Yes.
I think if we were using it on a plain color, I think it might need something even different.
Yeah. And then I'm shading some of the sides of these. So I'm going down. I'm just gonna start with one side. And because I'm using that on color, I can do dark on one side, light on the other. But even if I was just doing it white paper, where I wouldn't add the highlight, I think I'd still start with one side, see what it looks like, and then depending on how you have it and how thick it is too, or yeah, how thick or thin, because you just have to have enough room. Because I think it'd be nice to make these look a bit rounded.
Yeah, I used a little
Even if
colored pencil on one side,
okay,
and then graphite on the other side.
okay. Well, saying even with them being odd shaped, you can still have that neat effect of rounding with with using the graphite. Actually, it kind of makes it a lot more interesting. And like I said, I've just gone down the one side, and wow, and let me work up because it's like it's very impressive. It's very impressive looking. Down where it's purple. See, mine are all kind of long, so I have room. And oh no, Zelda, are you working on tiles that you colored on, or is it just a watercolor? Is it just watercolor paper? Oops, I don't need to use my pen. I keep leaving my pen uncapped. Yeah, it could be. Try scribbling them off to the side because it could be that something in the paint in the watercolor paint is clogging up the pen.
Yeah, it might be clogging rather than literally drying up.
Yeah, it feels like it's drying out because I have the similar issue with the stuff that comes out of my laser printer when I'm doing my step outs. It's like there's some substance that through the process of the laser printing that it leaves some kind of residue or something, and or changes something. Yeah, the only thing Zelda is just that's why on the back scribbles because I was having the same problem. Actually, sometimes if you're using yeah, so on my plastic nib, I'll kind of just twirl it like this a little bit, and then I see it starting to work better, and then I'll just scribble a bit. Um, and even the others, it's yeah, because I think it is really just a clogging, which just it seems weird because it's like well, I'm not. There's not any. It's all like micro clogging. That's what we should call it, micro clogging. Because it's like we can't see it. It's not like it's sand or dirt or something. All right, well, look at this. Oh, the way with just so that's interesting. And I'm thinking, what do I want to work behind this with? And I don't know. Actually, but maybe it was subconscious because I had seen Sandy's work, and I didn't think about it on purpose. But she has Hollabow and Floors. Those are two easy tangles working behind um, her pattern. Or you could add other organics behind it. Of course, it's a whatever you want. And I normally have like 12 of these chalk pencils, and then when I want one, oh, there it is. I didn't recognize it because I used it too much. Didn't have any white coming out of the tip. Uh, wait, who's yeah, they do. They could look like animal feet. All right, so now listen. If I was just doing this on regular other paper, I would you could put graphite on both sides if you want to really make it look uh, rounded. It does have a neat effect having it just on the one side, though. Actually, some of mine kind of look like tadpoles, and they're growing into some kind of weird creature. Which that makes that the extra fun of this because it can be inspired by, but um, by something, and then kind of end up having a whole different look. All right. Oh, that looks okay. And a fairly unused tortillon. We'll spread that a little bit. Although, oh no, yes, must spread. And going back to that's so funny. Pens for everyone, and you get one, and you get one. That would be that's if I could only make it so. Um, forgot what I was. I distracted myself. Well, I'm feeling uh, good for getting out of my own comfort zone today. And gosh, that looks kind of neat. That's so funny. Let's see. Oh, Judy. Oh, I was looking. Had a number three. But oh no, Judy. She had a number three. Um, 3. Yeah, blow up, leak ink every. Oh no.
I've only had one or two even leak. You
Hmm.
know, maybe they're doing something different.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a number of them that have leaked, and yeah, but not lately. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if well, just like when I had had emailed them or something about the brown pens, and this was
Oh, that's right.
yeah, it's like they just all wanted to stay dried up, and it was just weird, and they said they did have a problem, but I had had them for a long time. I don't think I ever sent them, but it was nice that they offered to replace them. So if you have a problem with the Microns, I think it's Sakura USA or something like that. Go to their website, or if the place that you got them from doesn't have a return policy. I'm thinking I might use a gray, the background, and we'll just do. Whoops. Try the darker gray. It's just, yeah, you like new pens. It's like, yes, new pens. Sometimes it's like, yes, it's a great excuse to go get some new ones. Thinking, do I want to add some other organic-y type of things first? But you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go to the edge. This. It's so funny because a lot of times I will not think about doing a background. Then I see such lovely things that everybody does. It's like, you really, it is nice to do something in the background, especially if you're just featuring one thing, and it doesn't have, it's something nice and light. It doesn't have to be too involved. It would help if I made lines straight, but that's okay. And then yeah, just okay. So if I have a line there, I have to make up this end part here, which you can't see. And I'm guessing. Where would I have the next one? Would probably be right here. That helps. Okay, nope. There we go. Even just that. I don't know, that makes me happy.
You could put those 4 little dots in the corners, not putting the diamond shape, but isn't there one
Oh,
where there's just a dot? Yeah,
um,
towards where they intersect, just a dot.
where they intersect.
Right. Yeah, but just a little bit in. Yeah,
like in the
like
States. Yeah, there was that one called, what was it, like Star Maps or something like that, where you could just put random. Oh, but wait.
well, it reminds me of that one you just did, but it wasn't that far in. Well, you thought of something else, so that's
I
okay.
did. I was like, wow, but wait.
But now you have to do some more,
Yes. I was like, well, let me find.
and
And
you
if
might
and
have
if
to make some more and color them in.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because it was just yeah, some random.
You have a pink one right next to that circle you just drew.
I know, but it was odd shaped.
Well, I know, but make it round and then do another little round next to it. So it looks like two overlap. One, no, do the bigger part. Yes. It looks like two dots to
Oh,
me.
I see.
And then the little one. Yeah, like that.
It doesn't even have to be in the corners. It can just be wherever.
Yeah. What I
Oh,
meant
I kind of like that.
was now I have to.
Oh, good, Amanda. Oh, she can hear now because it's on her phone. Okay, well, we'll have to figure out what the heck with the other. Um. Oh, there was that one. It was more elongated, called bars that we just did.
Well, I know, but like this. See?
Yeah, yeah.
Whoops.
But now I've done bubbles.
Yeah. So now you can't. But this is
That's what
what I
you were
was
thinking.
thinking of was that bars, but it's just
Yeah.
four dots in the corner rather than, and then you could always make them into diamond shapes and then it would be floors.
Right. Right. Well, and I kind of like it's like, well, just some eh, random whateverness. Yeah.
Yeah, and those big splotches, you could just you don't have to include the whole thing. Just.
Right. Well, I can just do to make some water drops and things like that. But since it's kind of this is random, so I might as well just stick with playing with being random and working on it and go with it. Oh, well, I can't wait to see what everybody has done. Um, and well, and because I just thought about it now. Uh, the foxglove has the little orbs and whatnot inside normally in the the pattern that's just kind of inside there. So this goes with it. It's just there's just spread out all over the place. No rhyme or reason.
What you also might do
Yeah,
now, which I
yeah.
did on mine too, I mean, it isn't as necessary on yours, but now put graphite or around your aura.
Yes.
I did the um,
Ooh.
gray brush pen around
Mhm.
mine, but mine is mostly colored where yours isn't. So I think it needs something to lift it off the page.
Yes. So let's do one side at a time. And then we want to see what everybody did. So 2 minute warning. And then later I'm gonna we'll make all of those orbs pretty.
Oh, I love that, Heather. It looks beautiful.
It's popping
It needs
already.
that. It needs it because it really needs to make the background look like it's in the background.
Yeah, yeah. And Luna, I believe in the power of random. Yeah, that'd make a great T-shirt. Well, and I'll do the dark down here, but I was thinking, and as I do on the other side, I was thinking if I add the white, because it's more there's more color on the other side. Well, I can always go over it, can't I?
Yeah, I think just the graphite on it. I don't think the white would do much
No, it's not
on the
gonna
other
raise
side.
it up.
No.
If I wanted to make it look, more 3D or something, like I've done that on some things where I'll do, well, like this, I'll do like on a square, two sides with the graphite, and then the other two with
Mhm.
the white, and then it makes it look like it's
Well, I
lifting
mean, it
up.
was effective on your all your little shapes to give
Yeah,
them. Where I just did like colored pencil on one side and graphite on one side,
yeah.
um, to
And
round those.
yours is neat. It's very abstract looking. I was trying to think, is it, or the or the camera is out of focus, but
Is it my camera out of focus?
no, I don't think so.
It makes it look
It's a
watercolory.
little,
Oh, you know,
well, on my screen it's a little grainy, but it's very abstract watercolory looking.
yes, and I cannot do that, but I did it.
Who knew? All right. So fantastic. All right. So let's us to see. And I'm just, why am I going down these little sides? Because it was just calling to me to do. And we want to see what everybody did. Ooh. Yeah, that totally lifts it off the page. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's see.
It needed that. That was
Yeah,
good.
it did. Yeah, it did. And I could yeah, Luna saying it could yeah, shift the highlight to the center, and then it could, yeah, make the whole thing look. But I think I have enough
Oh,
white on the other.
beautiful.
Oh,
Deb's
let's
really
see.
looks like real ones.
Whoa. Nice. All right. So if everyone wants to open up, let's see. And then, say, and hold. I'll let you know before I take it. And then, so that way your hands don't fall off. But it's like, we like to ooh and ah first. And then hopefully everybody's things will work. And oh, neat. Neat, neat, neat. I love how it's always just so amazing. Same tangle, all of our different hands. Okay, so it looks like I only have 2 pages. Let me get prepped.
Oops,
Oh,
Sharona's
or
is
not.
not there. Now it's in the picture.
Okay. And let's
And Jen, you
see.
need to bring your, yeah, that's better.
Oops, and
That's
oh,
good.
okay, I've got 3 on the second page. All right. So if this is it, last call. All right, hold them steady, and hopefully that is it. And if not, I or Alyssa will put in the chat. All right, hold on. Oops. Oh, hold on now again, because everything just shifted for whatever reason. All right. All right. There we go. Okay, so hold them steady. Sorry. Okay. And this again. New. I gotta. Well, there's probably no better system. All right. And okay, I got them all. So let me save this really quick, and then I will share my screen. And oh, and let's do it. New folder. Okay.
And
And
I'm just looking, Zelda said her white chalk pencil is drying up. That's impossible. But you know what I have found? You need to resharpen it because
oh,
sometimes um,
okay.
it gets like slick. The actual chalk pencils pick up stuff, and that tip
Oh, yeah.
gets slick, and it's not putting down chalk. So it just needs to be resharpened, and you'll be good to go.
There we go.
I promise. Sort of.
And awesome. Okay, so here we go. So this is the page 2, and really neat. I like Sharon. I like you spread some purple out on there. That's nice. And Chauvin, that's awesome. Wow. Oh, so she's like, so I don't no. Well, Zelda, if you need to go buy a new pencil, you should go buy a new pencil. Sometimes we're always looking. It's like, well, but I would really like to have a new one. Okay, so here's the first page. And what I'll do is before I send this out, I will combine this also. It's all on one page. And thank you, Alyssa, for putting in my email address and the right one. I can always trust Alyssa. And so if you want to email it to me, or if you're on the Facebook group, I will swipe it from there. Oh, these are gorgeous. Yes, and the screenshot's just a screenshot. So sometimes they're, fuzzy or whatever. So that's why it's always nice to get.
I like
Heather, were you able to get mine in?
Oh,
is that Zelda?
Inez.
No, that's Inez.
Yes.
Wait, no, I don't see it.
Okay, it didn't come through. I'll post
No,
it.
I didn't even see. There wasn't even like a box with, like, sometimes it'll show the box and your name and be blank, but I don't remember. Yeah, it didn't. For whatever reason.
Okay, I'll post it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And Luna, yes, I will make sure that you get the reminder. Wow, these look so neat.
Heather, I came on late. Can you show the step out again?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whoops, let me pop down here. Oh, and see. Oh, and Rochelle got your camera working. And look at. I just want to look at Rosemary's. You're totally popping off the page.
Yeah, but only the front ones. You notice the one in the background isn't.
Yes. Yeah.
It's an illusion.
Really neat. Neat. Okay, so
I'm thinking.
Okay, thanks.
Thinking.
Oh, sure.
I'm thinking we were restricted by trying to use the color that we had. Although I like the way mine turned out.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking tonight I'll try doing a blank one, or one that's more overall without so much definition that I'm trying to follow.
Yeah. But it was random.
It forced you to be random. That's true.
You restricted yourself in the random.
Sandy did one. I saw it. Where is it? Scoot the pages up, Heather. Oh wait, maybe I saw the difference, Sandy.
Nope, Sandy. It was maybe Sandy's not feeling good still. Hopefully you're feeling a little better. But these are fantastic. Fantastic, yeah, and I think Zelda, when I asked you before, there's some weird light transference or something, because I had asked you if you had a black light on, and you said it was just like the monitor or whatever light, but the way it looks out here, it's very alien looking. It's so cool. So neat. All right, let me flip back to the other. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not feeling good.
Still, yeah. And say just the different styles and everything, and Linda's looks like bluebells because they're blue. Oh, so neat. I'm actually thinking, well, maybe when I try it again later, at the PM session, I might try to maybe flare out the bottom a little bit, because that's how the Foxglove does flare out, and like Joyce's does that, and actually I like Monica's. It looks like a Christmas tree.
Where I'm looking.
It's just a tree shape. It's at the bottom. I like it though, and with the zingers coming and some indie relics. That's just so cool. And I just like all of them. They're just so neat. And Kelly, adding in the Was it Cinco? I think that was the name of that flowery tangle. Just very cool. Very cool. Well, this was great. Thanks, Sandy, for adding to our and actually I see two there is so I see Gay on, and I like yours. I'm trying to see is Diane. Oh, no, I didn't look to see who else is with you. But
she said, oh, when she signed in, I thought she said GG and DD.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Gay and Diane. All right. That's my guess. I missed it. Oh, these are all fantastic. All right. And Siobhan, glad you enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it, especially those that are new-ish to Zentangle. And yeah, what a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Neat.
Looking forward to doing it again.
Yeah.
I turned the computer off. I turned my computer off and back on. It's working now.
There you go. Okay, yeah. Now it's working, right?
Next week should be right.
It just wanted to cause trouble, so it's like, oh, here I have an opportunity to do the echo. The echo feedback echo. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm signing off. I'll see you tonight.
All right. Well, say goodbye to the recording.